Hi, my name is Camila Zertuche, and today I will be talking about the benefits of getting kids into sports. Some people may think that it shouldn't be obligatory for kids to be put in a sport because they might find their love for another hobby later. However, sports create healthy habits from a young age. They boost self-esteem and instruct the discipline of what being in a sport is like. Therefore, it should be mandatory in schools for all kids from the age of 6 and above to start getting involved with at least one sport. Sports boost self-esteem and instruct discipline in someone's life. If someone starts early on introducing healthy habits to their lives from a young age, this means that when they grow old, those habits will stay permanently with them and will help them in many situations and obstacles that life brings on. In my case, I know this is completely true because my dad started playing baseball as soon as he could walk. The sport showed him confidence, fears, patience, and the ability to face important situations. For example, one time he told me this story about how his boss was making him do more tasks than he was supposed to without getting paid for the work he was doing. He just accepted his orders and did it. Eventually, they found out what he was doing. He lost his job, and my dad took his position. He said that if it wouldn't have been because of the patience and what the game had taught him, he would not have been able to keep his patience and center aligned. Creating healthy habits is a really important role that sports gets to carry. It will be more effective if you practice them from a young age. Insufficient physical activity is the fourth leading risk factor for mortality. Approximately 3.2 million deaths and 32.1 million DALYs, representing around 2.1% of global DALYs each year. These attribute to insufficient physical activity. I believe that this is a really important issue, and the fact that we can prevent so many of these casualties by getting kids into sports blows my mind. Therefore, we need kids to start getting involved in sports, so eventually they won't have any type of disease or difficulty with their physical due to the lack of physical activity. Some people may think that sports aren't for everyone, and I totally get that because when I was little, I used to love dance, and the only thing I did was dancing. Until I got to high school, I really just needed somewhere else to be, and I stopped dancing for a little bit. So I joined soccer, and soccer taught me so many things that I wouldn't have learned if I weren't to be in a sport. The amount of stuff that you learn based on just one sport is amazing. It just feels great when you connect with something like that as easy. However, there are multiple sports to choose from. Even if you don't connect to a certain sport in the first try, like I tried with basketball when I was little, I totally hated basketball. Then I tried volleyball. I really liked volleyball. I still do volleyball. But then soccer season started and I just fell in love with it. It was somewhere where I just connected. And I know you can connect to it too. You just gotta find the right sport and everything's just gonna make sense. My point with this is that you don't have to choose something you don't like. There are just so many sports you get to choose from. And I know for a fact there's one for you. Overall, it should be mandatory for kids to make kids from 6 and above to focus on at least one sport. This will give some of them the ability to be able to perform that sport and more than likely to make it in the future and help them to stay in a good physical and healthy condition. Sports are just a long pathway filled with opportunities and lessons that are helpful in our everyday lives. We shouldn't waste all these moments that are just offered to us once and will never get to come back. Albert Einstein once said, "Life is just like a game. First you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you play better than anyone else." Playing a sport is just a manual that will teach you and prepare you mentally and physically for life. Thank you.